Oh god, thank you for this trailer. Especially after everything that's been going on in Infinity War. Marvel said, okay, we emotionally beat you down enough, so here's this. Here's a little pick-me-up after, the horrendous, heart-wrenching moments we had in Infinity War. Here's a sweet little dessert pick-me-up. And that's what this movie feels like, is that this whole trailer was like, oh, it's nothing dark and serious. There's going to be serious moments in it, don't get me wrong. But this whole trailer made you go, yeah, don't worry, you need a breather. Marvel was like, yeah, I can see why they wanted to have Infinity War before Ant-Man and the Wasp, because I feel like if Infinity War came out later in the year, then, then it would essentially be like the biggest downer ever. So I think someone in the Marvel head went, why don't we put Infinity War right after Black Panther and then have Ant-Man and the Wasp be like a nice little, pick-me-up. And they went, yeah, that's probably for the best, especially how that movie went down. Anywho, so what did I think of this trailer? I dug it. How they used the music and everything, I was like, this almost feels like a PG-13 Deadpool trailer of how they cut the editing. There's some great jokes in here. I was like, did they take notes from Deadpool 2 and just have this? Because there's a song in here that made me go, I would hear that in Deadpool. I would hear that in the Deadpool movie or something like that. So did they just take notes from the Deadpool trailers to make this trailer? Because that's what I feel like it was the case. That's what I kind of feel like that was the case. So the story looks like that Scott and Hope, I think, yeah, that's Hope, are working together again because I guess they were still on bad terms after he took this deal to join the government, to be a government agent. So now they're being forced to work together after everything that had gone down, and now they are hunting this villain known as the Ghost. Which, by the way, I'm going to talk about the Ghost real quick. First off, I'm really hoping we keep up in line with really good villains, because we've had a trend with that with Killmonger and now Thanos especially, and two other. I'd like to see another good villain. I would really like to see another good villain. Now, if you don't know who the Ghost is an Iron Man villain who was essentially an anti-establishment guy who had phasing abilities. And in here, it's a woman who apparently wants to do a take over the world routine or something like that. Or maybe it was from Michael Peña's character, so maybe he's just overreacting it. So maybe there's a bit more. I'm hoping to keep the anti-establishment angle with this character. And originally, the Ghost is a guy. And the other thing, and it's a minor thing I have, and it's not because, it's because it's a woman, playing the role. Not really. I'm fine with it being a woman, because the Ghost is not really a big character to begin with, My thing is that I was hoping since they were going to have a woman, why not have a more basic woman instead of a woman who looks like a model? Because the whole thing about the Ghost is that while we don't see a lot of his face, the point is that the Ghost is this very overly paranoid. He's like Rorschach with superpowers, and he just snapped. That's the big thing, is that he's a lot like Rorschach, especially in the Andy Diggle Thunderbolts run, which is awesome, by the way. The Andy Diggle Thunderbolts run, where it's kind of like Norman Osborn's Suicide Squad, it's pretty awesome. I actually have the entire run in single issues. It was all during the Dark Reign era, and the Ghost was on that team. And it's like, we find out that he never leaves his costume, he doesn't take it off that much, he's very paranoid of everyone else, so it's very much that the Ghost is, I was hoping for the Ghost not to look like a supermodel, but more like, why not have like a more basic looking woman, more average, rather than just have, just kind of, almost, dare I say, sexualize a supervillain who's anti-establishment and is hinted at that he shits in his suit. Maybe not go that far is what I'm saying. Maybe not go that far with it, but I was hoping for something like, and I actually dig the costume, because it actually looks like how it first started out. But anyway, So yeah, that's kind of my only thing, is I was hoping for maybe not go for the ultra hot girl. I mean, I know that's going to get people in seats, but maybe go for a little more average looking woman. If you're, I was, again, fine with the casting, because, again, the Ghost is not a big enough character where people are like, you change the gender! Like, oh, it's the Ghost, alright. But, alright, whatever. Another big thing that surprised me was that I haven't been keeping like who or what characters are in this movie. Probably because I kept forgetting about it, because we had that other movie come out this week as of this recording. That was a big thing that we all kind of focused on, and I kept forgetting that Ant-Man The Wasp was coming out. So the other thing is that Lawrence Fishburne is in the movie, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, I didn't know that. What character is he playing? It turns out he's Black Goliath. Yeah, Black Goliath is another character who got the Pym particles and make himself giant. And it is noted that he did change. Now, I don't think he'll be Black Goliath in the movie. He might be. And there's actually a nice little, there's a neat little joke between him and Scott at the end of the trailer that I was like, it's a little immature, but again, I kind of need this pick-me-up. When they're talking about sizes, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Anywho, that's really cool. I really dig that we finally have Black Goliath in the MCU. The other thing is that maybe this gives me hope that maybe we'll see his nephew in here, and he'll be the Black Goliath in the MCU. That's what I'm hoping for, because his nephew, after the first one was killed by a Thor clone in Civil War, I don't think we'll get a Thor clone in here. But anyway, that might be cool. That might be cool. Another thing is that I'm starting to suspect that Hawkeye might be in this movie, because we didn't see him in here, and we do know that he's coming in some aspect. So maybe Hawkeye will show up in here, because okay, spoiler for Infinity War. It's a minor spoiler, but apparently Scott and Hawkeye took a deal with the government to work for them in order to be with their families. So minor spoiler there. So maybe Hawkeye will show up in some capacity here, maybe in an after-credit scene, because this movie is supposedly going to take place during the events of Infinity War. So I can already tell you that if that's true, the ending's not going to do well, because it's going to remind us, hey, remember all those feels you felt a few months ago? Snap. So if the ending is that like Michael Peña's character and the Ant-Man the Wasp all like fade away, or Scott's like holding his daughter as everyone's fading away, he's like, don't let go, and she fades away in his arms. Oh, that won't be cool. But I wouldn't put it past them to do so. I wouldn't put it past them to do that in any capacity. Anywho, so the shape shot is the size changing, just in how they use it in the combat is really cool. I really dug it in the first trailer, but this time around I'm like, holy shit, this looks so freaking cool in here. Oh my god. So I'm really excited about that. So that looks really neat, of how they're working in all the different size changing back and forth. And again, this movie looks so ridiculous, but at the same time I'm like, the whole time I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, I needed this after the emotional destruction I suffered through in Infinity War. I need I need a good, hey, here you go, here's a lighter side. You looks like you need this. So that's my thing, really, is that I know people are already saying, oh, it's too goofy. We kind of need a little goofiness right now. I don't need an uber dark Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. So anyway, where was I going? What else did I want to say about this trailer? I do I am looking forward to this movie. I thought it was coming out in June. It turns out it's July. Okay, I was totally forgot. For some reason I kept thinking June, but I was like, nope, it's July. Okay, long enough time for me to get over Infinity War and get ready for this. And I guess they didn't want to compete with like the other stuff coming out in June, like Jurassic World or in May, because that had just... Well, what else is coming out? Oh, yeah, Incredibles 2. Or is that July? I don't know. For some reason, the movies in June and July always seem to blend in my head. So, I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's in July. Ant-Man The Wasp is in July. That gives me enough time to get over Infinity War, unless they do the, unless they do as predicted, and, they all die due to the finger snap. But, anyway. So the other thing is that we do know that there is a casting call for a teenage version of Scott's daughter, Cassie, and it's leading to a lot of credence of a Young Avengers film. So maybe what happens is that Scott's been gone a long time, or maybe it's Cassie who gets, you know, disintegrated, and when everyone comes back in Avengers 4, she comes back as a teenager. But, I don't know, you know, it's difficult to say. But all I know is that I think there's a possibility of a Young Avengers film by the looks of it, or Scott dies permanently, and the Young Avengers film takes later, like, a few years later. You know, maybe Scott Lang's death is permanent, because that's how, you know, Cassie became Stature the first time in the first volume of Avengers. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Ant-Man and the Wasp? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Sorry for rambling a bit, because I was like, I had just woken up when I saw the trailer, so I'm still like trying to get my thoughts together, but anyway. Like I said, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Ant-Man and the Wasp? Did you guys like the trailer? Did you guys hate it? What do you guys think the story will be about? What are your thoughts on the Ghost? And what do you think, how do you think they'll make Cassie go from a child to a teenager? Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.